Jared, this is Tim Floor. I'm going to go through your trailer with you. Over here on this side over here, you have a hookup light for hooking up at nighttime. You have the two vents on either side of the front compartment that vents your batteries out. The front compartment holds your spare tire that is air ducted pressure, which is 95 pounds on the side of these cold. While we're in this front compartment, the mounting system for the 4-point leveling is in the front compartment mounted to the ceiling. And on each one of the motors, there is a access point, bottom and top of the motor, to get in to manually crank them up or down for any reason they won't work on their own. There is a manual way to crank them in and out. Hole in the bottom and hole up on the top. Little rubber boots. On your auto leveling, hold the plus and minus button at the same time, turns it on. You got an up arrow and a down arrow for taking it on and off the truck. Auto level, hitch right, recovery, that if you want to come back to the hitch height for when you uncouple the truck from the trailer, and a retract all. Also has the operations for it over here to the right hand side of it. The first connection back is the propane cylinders. On the propane cylinders, the arrow on this side right here indicates that they worked off of that bottle there. It's green inside the eye. As soon as that bottle would happen to come empty, it's going to turn red in there where the green's at, indicating that the bottle it's pointed to is empty. And if you have both cylinders open, even though it's empty on this side and red inside the eye, it will automatically pick up from this cylinder over here. That way you don't lose your gas service in the middle of the night. Then all you have to do is switch the arrow over to this one here, work off of this one while you take that one to town and have it refilled. Your water compartment's next. In the water compartment, up front, there is a manual crank handle for the slide room, a hookup light for hooking up at nighttime. The top connection is the black tank flush, so while you are dumping your holding tanks, you can hook a water hose and regulator to this, turn water pressure onto it, and it will actually help clean out the black tank only. Right below that, you do have an outside shower with hot and cold running water. The city water hookup that you can hook up with the water hose and regulator and never have to fill the tank on it. The next one back is the freshwater tank fill. If you're wanting to fill the tank on it, you have to shut the petcock off behind the rear wheels, hook your water hose and regulator up to this side here, turn water pressure onto it, go inside, read your monitor panel as the freshwater tank fills, 1/3 to 2/3 full. Once it hits full, come out and turn the water pressure off, go into that connection. Right in here below that, the line with the cap on the end is for winterizing of the trailer. To get it to suck antifreeze through that line there, you have to turn the tank line off, feeding to the water pump from the freshwater tank to the off position. Stick your antifreeze jug out, stick your line down in it, kick your pump on, and it will pull from the antifreeze jug instead of pulling from the tank. For it to pull water from the tank, this has to be in line with it coming into it. It has a bypass on the hot water heater over here to the side. It is in the normal operating position. When you get ready to winterize, you're going to flip it to the up position and drain the tank on the outside. But when it's down flat, it is in the normal operating position. There is a park cable hookup in the front and a satellite hookup. There's also a hole in the bottom of the compartment that you can bring your water lines up through, and your park cable or satellite hookups. That way you can leave the two main doors shut. Next connection back is the outside of the hot water heater. Look. On the hot water heater, before you turn on electric or gas, you'll want to pop the pop-off valve at the top, making sure it has water coming out of it. That way you know the tank is completely full of water. The electric side is in the lower left-hand bottom corner. The gas switch is going to be on your monitor panel on the inside. Before you turn it on gas or electric, make sure you got water coming out the top before you turn on electric or gas. Also has a drain plug down here. The drain plug is also an anode rod. An anode rod draws all the impurities out of the water to it, eats up that rod instead of eating up the inside of the tank. Anytime the steel rod in the center is showing, it's time to replace it. That is your power cord. It's 35 foot long. It is a 50 amp service. Hooks onto the trailer, makes a quarter of a turn, and then tighten up the black knob. While we're here at the termination valve, the black handle at the top is the toilet water. The gray handle below it is your bathroom sink and shower water. There's going to be one more termination valve right behind the axles. That is the kitchen sink water, which they call a galley tank. The freshwater drain is right here between the two towers. And it is holding water right now. For it to drain, that pitcock has to be turned in line with the hose for it to flush the water out. Back here is where the galley tank will drain. It has a gray valve on it, but it is your kitchen sink water only. It is prepped for a backup camera up top. It does have a ladder for going up and checking the roof. Every 90 days, the roof needs to be checked on. The quicker you can find a problem with the roof, the better off you are. The better off you can fix it and maintain the trailer better. Pretty good sized compartment back here though. On this side over here, we do have an outside kitchenette that has a port spray. Quick connect hose hooks in here and gives you cold water on this side. Pulls out, clicks back into place. Black hose here hooks to the back of the grill. Comes down and hooks to the connection
right up there
underneath. Well, your hose will hook to this and then it hooks to the trailer. That valve's up here towards the front farther. We're going to disconnect it, slide it back in, latch it back down in place. It does have an outside refrigerator that is 110 only. The controls for it are in the upper right hand corner. Nice and cold in there, but that is 110 only. The little hole here in the side of the metal is for that brass colored handle in the front water compartment. The handle goes through there and manually cranks that main slide in or out. For any reason it won't go on its own, it does have a manual override crank handle. There is a place for the TV in the living room to come out here and slides in this bracket. Hooks up to that coax connection that works off the antenna on top of the trailer or the park cable. And then you have a 110 outlet to plug it into. Lug nuts on the trailer have been torqued at 100 foot-pounds. The tires are air pressure, which is 95 pounds on the side of the tire cold. 2 outside speakers. I'll have to show you more about that on the stereo on the inside. And then the one in between it is the stove vent. For the stove vent to work properly, the 2 tabs on the outside have to be lifted up. Allows the flapper to flap, but when you travel, you want to make sure that flapper is pushed back down and secured. outside of the furnace is next. It's going to suck cold air in the top and hot air out the bottom, and it is marked where the hot air will be coming out of. I always suggest putting a mud dauber screen over that for the simple fact that screen's less than 20 bucks. While we're here too, it does have 2 low water drain points on the trailer. The red side is the hot side of the water system, the blue is the cold side of the water system. And they'll be used for winterizing and de-winterizing of the trailer. In your big front compartment up here, it has a compartment light. Black knob here turns your 2 LED lights on the front of the trailer on. Solar panel reading shows you what the solar panel's putting out to the batteries. And it also has an inverter. Anytime the 110 is disconnected from the trailer, the inverter takes over from the 12-volt batteries to make 110 for the refrigerator only. And it also has a battery disconnect that if you don't want the refrigerator draining the batteries, you can turn the battery disconnect off and pull the key out. Then we have the little doggy hook up here at the front to hook the critter to underneath the awning. That's basically it on the outside. We're going to step to the inside of the trailer. Here again, when you come to the trailer, the steps are going to be in the up position. Main thing on the steps is it has to lay flat in the threshold for the proper fit of the door going over the top. On that, there is 2 little buttons on the bottom of the steps that you can push in and adjust. There's like 15 holes in each one of the legs that you can adjust for any contour of the ground out there. The main thing is it has to lay flat in the threshold. If it don't lay flat in the threshold, the front door does not shut over the top of it properly. Now we're going to go to the inside. It does have a working fire extinguisher on the inside. We're going to run this slide room out and turn the lights above us on. If for any reason the self-leveling on the front of the trailer won't work and throws a red light for a fault, you can come into the inside monitor panel, turn it on, bump the jacks up or down, and it will throw the fault on the outside jacks back into operating position. Thermostats, you have 2 of them. The first one to the left turns the living room air on and will also do the heat for the furnace. When you first turn it on, it gives you a fan speed, high or low. Hit the mode button one more time. It says high fan, cool, low cool, auto cool, and high cool. Then you will dial your temperatures down for it. The second thermostat works the air conditioner in the bedroom only. Does not operate the furnace, just the front air conditioner. The flip switch right beside that turns the ceiling fan on. Ceiling fan has 4 speeds for the fan and an on and off switch for the light. Monitor panel down here at the bottom, you hit the first button, shows you that the freshwater tank is full. Battery is full. Black tank is empty. Does not have the second black tank, but it does have gray tank 1, which is your bathroom, shower, and sink, and gray tank 2, which is your galley sink. Does not have the auxiliary tank underneath the trailer. First red button turns your water pump on between the freshwater tank and the faucets. The second button turns the hot water heater on. The little red light at the top comes on where it says fault. It goes through 2 lighting processes to light on gas. For any reason it does not light on gas, that little red light's going to come back on. Third switch is a set of tank heaters that is underneath the trailer. Even though the red light's on, they're not on all the time. They come on when they are needed when the temperature drops below freezing. First light switch here turns your decorative lights above the slide room on. Second light switch turns your center row of lights in the living room on. And the third light switch turns your LED lights underneath the awning on. The bigger buttons down at the bottom, the first one runs the awning out. The second one runs the main slide in the living room area out. 3 more spots for slide outs, but they are blocked off because there's no more slide outs in the trailer. As we step down around the sink, the light above the sink has to be turned on by hand, and it does have a 110 outlet underneath the cabinet. In the top drawer, should have been a set of keys for the trailer and paperwork. On the microwave, the only thing I can tell you about the microwave is there is a clock button. Let's say it's 2:30. Hit the clock button again till the 2 center eyes is flashing. The reason I set the time on the microwave is I can tell if the trailer's lost 110 power coming to it if it does not have the right time. Right below that is the hood range for the stove. You got a light for cooking and a fan button. For that fan to work properly, the 2 tabs on the outside vent has to be open, allows the smoke to come from the inside of the trailer out. Glass stove top will fold up 2 times, up and out of the way. Turn either one of the burners on to where it says pilot, hit the striker, and it will light all 3 of the top burners. And it will also light the oven. On the oven button, you have to turn it to where it says pilot on. Hold down on the button while you're hitting the striker on the left hand side. Once the oven's lit, you can turn your light switch down to where you actually have a light in the oven so you can see them biscuits cooking. And then a pretty good sized drawer down below it for pots and pans. Right below that drawer there is the LP detector and carbon monoxide. There's 2 different distinctive noises between the LP and carbon monoxide. LP is 1 long continuous beep. Carbon monoxide, it'll beep 4 times at you, 2 times in a row. On the refrigerator, it has controls in the top right hand side of it. You want this side over here to get around 36 degrees. This side over here gets around 50. That is only for wine on that side there. 2 refrigerator crispers down below that'll freeze. But all the controls for that are in the upper right hand corner at the top. TV will come from in the living room area to go to the outside, slides down in the same bracket that is inside of here. It does have a DVD player in the stereo that will play a DVD between the stereo and the TV. You have A and B on your speakers. A is your 2 auditorium inside the living area. Zone B is your 2 outside speakers. Fireplace has manual controls over here on this side here that you can push to operate it. The brown vent right down below it is from the furnace. When the furnace is running, the hot air will come out of the 2 brown vents at the bottom. Your air conditioner vents are the round vents in the ceiling. There's a step to come up here to the back bunk area. There is a light on the back wall and a USB port and a 110 outlet. To the left of that, there is a place to put a TV in the top bunk, but you could use the park cable hookup or the antenna hookup on top of the trailer. And it's on the front wall. It's kind of hard to get to. And it should have a light, a 110 outlet, and a USB port for the bottom bunk. Kitchen couch folds out into a bed. Take the 2 back cushions over, set them off to the side, lift up on it, slides out, and the headboard of the couch folds down to make the top part of the bed. There is a fire escape window behind both places, there and above where the table's at. The table will make into a bed. Tabletop comes off the 2 pedestals in the floor. Tabletop goes down between the 2 benches, and you take your 2 back cushions to go over the top of the table to make you a smaller bed there. The 2 lights above the couch have to be turned on by hand, and the light above the table has to be turned on by hand. Pretty good sized storage underneath each one of the benches. There is 2 lights underneath the shelving here, a USB port, and a 110 outlet. Breaker box is the next one over. Your 50 amp main in the center, and they are marked from the left to right what they are. General purpose, refrigerator, GFI, microwave, hot water heater, 1 AC, your main, Gen Prep 2, AC, washer and dryer hookups, fireplace, and converter. The fuses on this side over here, the top 6 spots are empty, but the next 1, 2, 3, 4 are lights in the ceiling, radio, furnace, hot water heater, water pump, and LP, and they are marked on the right hand side what they are. When the car fuses blow, they do have a red light off to the right hand side that will light up to show you that the fuse is popped. We're going to go up into the bathroom next. Light in the hallway has to be turned on by hand. Light switch on the wall that turns the lights above us on. Does have an max air vent in the ceiling. It has an on and off button. A 110 outlet that is GFI protected. There is a round vent for the air conditioning in the bathroom, and there is a floor registry in the floor for the heat. On the toilet, it has a single foot flush on the right hand side. And then you have your shower, just like what you have at home. Hot water on the left side, cold water on the right. And it does have a little storage cabinet for extra towels and wash rags, toilet papers, and toiletries. Does have a medicine cabinet, 2-shelf medicine cabinet at the top, and another cabinet down here at the bottom. And I should have showed you on these cabinet doors too. They are self-closing cabinet doors. If you let go of them, they will close on their own. So you don't actually have to shut them. In the bedroom area up here, there is one more slide. We'll turn the light on and run the slide out. It does have a 110 outlet on either side of the bed and a USB port. But while we're here on the left hand side, it does have a floor registry for the heat to come into this area. It has a round duct for the air conditioner from the living room to come in. And then you have an exit port on either side of the AC in the bedroom. There is a light above the headboard on either side that has to be turned on by hand. We have pretty good sized storage underneath the mattress. And in the front walk-in closet, it does have a washer dryer prep on the right hand side with 2 extra outlets for the washer and dryer, hot and cold running water, and on the left side it does have a book or shoe rack in the closet for extra shoes. Does have a light on that side over there too. When in travel, both doors need to be locked and secured. Another place for a TV on this wall, which has a 110 plug-in, part cable or antenna on top. Does have a 110 outlet on the side of the cabinet and another USB port. And we do have a fire escape window in the bedroom. That's basically everything on the trailer. If you have any questions, I'll try to answer them the best that I can. Thank you.